District 5. Let's talk about the results for District 5 and where they stand right now. This is on the Democratic side for the newly drawn District 5, where Chaz Molder has defeated unofficially his other opponents, 17,065 votes. Again, 41% of the vote. On the Republican side, probably the biggest upset, as we mentioned earlier, the biggest upset of the night, congressional incumbent Andy Ogles loses his primary match to Charlie Hatcher. 53-47, Charlie Hatcher unofficially now the GOP primary winner for District 5.